Alright.
So you think your hometown is bad? Got a few potholes? Maybe some weird smells drifting from that one factory? Boo-boo, buckle up because we're diving into the absolute worst places to live on planet Earth. The spots that make your overpriced studio apartment seem like a beachfront villa in Bali. First up, welcome to Oymyakon, Russia. Oymyakon, Russia. This is the world's coldest inhabited place. This charming little Siberian village regularly hits minus 50 degrees Celsius. That's the kind of cold where your spit freezes before it hits the ground and your eyelashes turn to tiny icicles just from blinking. And don't even think about taking your car out. The metal freezes solid and any exposed skin, frostbite in minutes. But hey, the vodka's cheap and they've got a cool reindeer festival. Silver linings, right? Next, we hop into the other extreme. Dalal, Ethiopia. If you're tired of the cold, this place is basically the devil's front porch, with average daily highs reaching 41 degrees Celsius. It's the highest inhabited place on earth. The air is so thick with sulfur, it smells like a rotten egg omelette, and the ground is covered in toxic neon yellow salt flats. Oh, and there's no real water source, just boiling acidic springs, so hydration is overrated. Let's not forget Norilsk in Russia. A city so bleak it makes Gotham look like a tropical resort. It's one of the most polluted places on earth thanks to massive nickel smelting plants. The air here is so toxic, you might accidentally get a side of lung damage with your morning coffee. Add in months of darkness during winter, and you've got a solid recipe for seasonal depression, and possibly superpowers if you stick around long enough. Fun fact, the soil around the city is so contaminated with heavy metals that it literally bleeds red when it rains, so you know, not exactly garden friendly. If extreme altitude is more your vibe, there's always La Rinconada in Peru, the world's highest permanent settlement at 5,100 meters. That's 16,000 feet above sea level. Oxygen is basically a rumor here, and it's a gold mining town, so the air is filled with mercury and broken dreams. To add to that, there's no plumbing, so the roads are mud, and crime is a big problem, but at least you get some killer views if you survive the altitude sickness, and it's also a place where bartering gold for groceries is pretty normal. That's wild. And finally, for those of you who think you can handle isolation, say hello to Tristan da Cunha. It's literally the most remote inhabited island in the world, over 2,400 kilometers from the next nearest piece of land. Population is 250. It's like if Gilligan's Island was real, but with fewer coconut radios and more freezing winds. Oh, and if you need a hospital or a decent Wi-Fi connection, too bad. You're basically living in the middle of the Atlantic, with a handful of neighbors who know way too much about your business. Oh, and an honorable mention to Pripyat, Ukraine, the ghost town next to Chernobyl. Technically no one lives here anymore, but it's worth a shout out for being the place where the air might actually glow if you squint hard enough. Crumbling Soviet architecture and the ever-present reminder of a nuclear disaster. A great spot for an Instagram photo if you're into that whole post-apocalyptic vibe. But let's wrap this up with the deadliest of them all, the good old US of the A, Death Valley, the hottest, driest, and lowest national park in the United States. It once hit 134 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 57 degrees Celsius, the hottest air temperature ever recorded. It's basically like living in a giant hairdryer, and the landscape looks like Mars if Mars had a Yelp page full of 1-star reviews. But hey, it's great for stargazing if you can survive the heat. So yeah, your noisy upstairs neighbors or the slightly inconvenient commute might not seem so bad now, huh?